Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Scott and this is another My Bourbon Journey review. So if this is your first time checking out the channel, thank you very much. If it's not your first time and you are a supporter of my videos, then thank you very much. But if it is your first time and you're looking for videos of different types of reviews of different types of whiskeys such as bourbons, ryes, maybe a single malt on a very rare occasion, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So today I've got a product that was just released not that long ago in our area. This is the Jim Beam Distillers Cut, obviously a product of Jim Beam. So this is their kind of what they're going to call like their limited release, non-chill filtered, kind of their entry into the non-chill filtered category for the most part. So it's kind of become, as everybody knows, a little bit of a popular type of thing. Everyone wants these non-chill filtered and all of that. So how much it really affects things in terms of the flavor, that's kind of for everybody else to kind of decide. But anyway, this is their entry into the non-chill filtered category. So again, Jim Beam Distillers Cut. This is a 100 proof non-chill filtered bourbon, straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. And I thought I would go ahead and do that review for you guys today. So I know this hasn't hit all areas, and here in Wisconsin, there are some areas that still have yet to get it. So I don't know what the distribution is around the country, but again, I thought I would go ahead and do that review for you guys today. So let's go ahead and we'll get into it. So typically what I like to go through is the appearance, then we'll kind of get into the nose and go through the taste, and then maybe the finish part of it. So I guess first, this is a relatively inexpensive bourbon. This was, I believe, including tax, right around the $20 mark. So nothing that's going to break the bank or anything along those lines. So with that being said, let's go ahead and we'll get into the review. So as you can see, kind of a nice kind of copper penny color. So it does say actually on the box that you might be able to see there that it was aged for 5 to 6 years. So we know that there's that age to it. So that was kind of interesting in the days of very limited information regarding the age of a bourbon anymore. So they're not really, stating that on many bottles as much anymore. So on this, they do state that it's between 5 and 6 years old. So let's go ahead and we'll get into the nose of this. So right up front, I'm getting a lot of the dark fruits, kind of a chocolate covered cherry kind of note to it. Quite a bit of oak, some light honey. Again, that cherry, that dark fruit is really coming through on the nose. A little bit of cinnamon. Yeah, the oak, the cinnamon, kind of that chocolate covered cherry. It's actually a really nice nose on this. So this has been just kind of a little bit more information. I have had this open now for about 2 weeks. So when I originally had it, it was okay right away, but I felt this was something that was going to need a little bit of time. So I held off doing the review until now just to kind of see where we're at. So I haven't had it for about 2 weeks now. So let's go ahead and we'll get into the taste. Cheers. So typically what I like to do is get the palate coated a little bit, take another sip. Now we've got something to kind of work off of. So I'll take another sip and kind of see where we go from there. So yeah, right up front with this, the first thing I get hit, kind of like I did in the beginning as well, this is very like oak forward. Not sweet, quite a bit of oak up front. It's kind of just continuing to stay there. You do get a little bit of still that kind of light cinnamon, there's a bit of a kind of a bitterness to it as well. I don't know if that's kind of part of the leathery tobacco type of note that I'm picking up in that, but I want to describe it as a little bit of a bitterness to it. So yeah, that kind of leather tobacco type of flavor to it. The dark fruits are there, but that's very kind of in the background. You're not getting that. Again, this is very oak, leather, tobacco forward, so it's not on the sweet side at all. I thought about maybe adding a little bit of water, but with it being 100 proof, you're getting basically no heat. It's a relatively smooth bourbon. Finish part on this is relatively short to maybe medium. It's relatively dry. Again, on the finish, you still kind of continue to get that little bit of leather, tobacco. Yeah, that's kind of what's really lingering there. As far as this being like kind of a sipping bourbon, for a lot of people who like maybe a heavy oak forward bourbon, this may be something that you would really enjoy. As far as the typical bourbon notes, I don't get a lot of that. A lot of times I pick up, a lot of what a lot of other people do, that, vanilla, caramel, things along those lines. I'm not picking up that sweet part of that on this bourbon. So again, this is something that's going to be a little bit, in terms of flavor. Again, you've got that kind of, to me, that heavy oak forward flavor, the leather, the tobacco, things along those lines. So that's something that's very, very approachable from that standpoint. But again, this is something that's going to be, I think, for a lot of people, $20. Maybe you go, buy a bottle, see what you think of it on your own. As far as cocktails go, again, that's something that would probably work really well in a cocktail, a Manhattan, maybe even a bourbon old fashioned, something along those lines. But for me, in terms of would I buy another bottle of this? Probably not. Regarding my opinion of that, this isn't something that fits necessarily my flavor profile. I like something that's got a little bit more sweetness to it. But anyway, regarding the overall, review of this, again, something that's relatively oak forward, some notes of leather, tobacco, things along those lines. So again, if that's something that may, be, fits your profile, then go ahead and pick up a bottle, or maybe pick up a bottle just to kind of see what you think yourself. So if you do, leave me some comments below. I'll be interested to see whether or not you pick up some of what I do, your thoughts. So any of that, if you have had this, leave some comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you like the reviews. So I guess with that being said, we'll go ahead and kind of wrap up the review. Again, any of the show notes and all that will be linked in the description below. I'll leave all those details. Again, go ahead and subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up, some comments, and if there's something else you would like for me to, go ahead and consider doing a review of, leave that as well. I'm happy to entertain those. So with that being said, we'll see you next time. Thanks.